Howdy, and welcome to the Feed Bandit Podcast, where we talk all things hunting and introduce you to the most innovative hunting gear and services. Here are your hosts, Jimmy Byrne and Richard Kinchlow. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit Podcast. Jimmy here, and as always, I am joined by El Ricardo. How you doing, Richard?
Oh, man. Truthfully, I wanted to postpone this because I had a very, very, very frightening email, or voicemail this morning.
Oh, sounds serious.
It is. It's pretty damn serious. I want to play it for you. You know, this is scary. So hold on one second. Listen to this.
An intentional second attempt to avoid initial appearance before a magistrate judge or a grand jury for a federal criminal offense. This is the final attempt to reach you. To resolve this issue immediately and to speak to a federal agent, call back number 844-648-2785. I repeat, 844-648-2785.
So, I don't know what to do here. I'm terrified. Yeah, I don't know. First of all, a magistrate. I didn't think that was in this country, but I guess. Do we have a queen here? I don't know.
Well,
so anyway,
the other thing is I'm no lawyer.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, people can leave us voicemail, the lawyers out there, but I don't think you appear before your own grand jury. I think they call the grand jury to figure out if they're going to indict you.
Well, here's the thing. I've always been a law-abiding citizen. Always have been. And I hate to do this, but
for the most part, yeah.
Right, for the most part. Right, yeah. It's a different topic. I think we need to call him back right here and right now. Is that okay? Do you have time?
Yeah, I mean, if it's bothering you that much,
it is.
You gotta get it off your conscience.
It is. Okay, all right. Let's give these people a call back. And this is serious.
I wonder if they'll have an accent.
Oh, no.
Thank you for calling. Your call is very important to us and will be answered in the order it was received.
Oh, shit. A spit. Damn. All right, I'm probably call number 10,000. Oh, boy.
It's good hold music, at least.
Yeah, it is. For being in a lot of trouble, this is putting me in an awful jovial mood.
Oh, I know. It should be like, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
They didn't even say. Did they say did they give you some reference number or something?
No, I don't think so.
Oh well, they just must be caller IDing you.
I figured so.
Technology these days.
Yeah. Must be a lot of people in trouble like me.
Wow. Yeah. That's not just jumping on the line.
I know.
It's like, I can see them scrambling in the background. Oh, we got one.
Yeah. Finishing their side of dog and. We'll see how long we want to let this one go. I'm nervous though. I'd like to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
I actually got a call from Colombia a couple days ago, which, I don't know what that was all about, and an answer. And not talking about Columbia, Ohio, either, I think that's actually Columbus.
Columbia, South Carolina?
Right.
Or Missouri. Didn't Missouri have a Columbia?
Yep, I think there's the Columbia, Texas, too, I think.
Wow, there's a Columbus, Texas.
Right. Well, you know what? While we're waiting, maybe we should venture into the discussion topic, and we can come back to this.
Yeah, if they patch in, and we could just have the music in the background, I guess.
Yeah. I'll keep it handy right here.
But what do we? Let's see. It's February, mid-February,
it is.
And we're kind of in that no man's land, I guess, right? Yes. Between. We got deer season behind us, and I guess turkey season in front of us.
That's right. Quail season, I think, just finished up.
Yeah, so we're kind of like, okay, what do you do now? Well,
No, lots to be done.
There's lots. I was going to say, So where do you want to start on the list of lots? Figured we talk about the projects, right?
Yeah, no, I think it would be great, and we'll talk about one of the. Still waiting, by the way. We'll talk about the one of the absolute key resources that any land manager hunter needs to take care of if it's not there. And at this time of year, we kind of take it for granted because hopefully you've got so much of it running around, but that's water.
Yes.
Water is one of those ingredients. I mean, it's one of the many things that a lot of animals have in common is that. Thought somebody's coming on the line. That some
you could argue that it is the thing that everyone needs.
I agree. Yeah. So, again, right now everybody's got stock tanks or free flowing creeks, things of that nature, and again, hopefully they are abundant and whatnot. But also hopefully when you were out looking at your land, whether it's your ranch or your lease or whatnot, you took notice of how a place looks in July, how it looks in August and September, because those are the super crucial months where if you've got the opportunity to provide supplemental water, it can greatly benefit the animals. And right now is a great time to be thinking about, especially if you're going to do like a major water catch project. Hold on. Music has stopped. Hello? Hello? Yes.
Your call is very important.
I know.
Answered in the order it was received.
I'm going to hang up. Maybe they'll call back. I hope they do, because I got to get this resolved. But, okay. So while we're waiting, I think that, there are multiple different types of – So anyway, going back to the – taking advantage. If you're going to do a big rain catcher, now would be a good time, especially one that's got a considerable amount of storage. If you've got a rain catcher out on your property that's for your wildlife or whatnot, that's gonna that's gonna have an actual tank system that's 500 gallons, something of that nature. Man, now is the time to get it deployed to catch that rain. So definitely something to think about. You don't really want to be putting it out there, especially if you're in a real more arid part of Texas in May and June. You're going to be cutting it kind of close there, and of course you don't want to have to sack water out there to get it filled up. So
and right now, it's still February, so maybe you can get it if you get it out there before the spring rains come and whatnot. Of course, today, we had a pretty big downpour here, and if you had it out yesterday, you could have gone a long way to filling up, whatever you had out there. But
that is the truth. That is true. In fact, I think Rancho Bandido is looking at another 1.5 inches coming tomorrow, and that text. No. And just making sure they weren't texting me and telling me, hey, listen, we're going to get to you.
Actually, what you need to do is send us your Social Security number and the credit card with the highest balance on it.
That's right. Oh, my Visa card. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get real redneck on this guy. Hopefully that calls back. So, yeah. No, you're totally right. So it's time to take advantage of that. So let's talk about the different types of supplemental water that you can provide to the animals, and then the obvious importance of them. I think obviously they have to have water. That's just the way it is. But one of the things a lot of people overlook is really how much water do you have? How much water do you need? Well, obviously water being so vital, animals are going to go a long way to find it. Okay, and one of the problems with that a lot of people overlook is that if you've only got one source of water out there and you've got all the traffic going there, guess who else is going to be there? And let's not forget that, when is water the scarcest? Normally, okay, it'll be in, late June, July, August, September, heaven forbid in September, right? But, and so what's on the ground in those months? Well, you got fawns, you got your new stock, you got your new bucks that have got velvet, and they're growing, so if you funnel all your deer into one area, or all your axis or black, whatever it is you're managing for, turkeys, whatnot, you're setting them up for a potential predation scenario. Now, of course, if you've got a 10-acre tank, or a 5-acre tank, and you get 4 or 5 of those, okay, that's going to spread it out. But remember, those predators are going to focus around there. So, so when you're setting up a water feature, obviously you want to do it somewhere where, the animals are going to be, okay? You don't want to set up right by the ranch house, if your deer aren't going to be frequently there, but you need to think about it, think about where you're putting it, okay? You don't want to put it somewhere deep in the bush where, the deer have got great cover, but a bobcat can pounce on a fawn, coming to the water feature. So let's talk about things that you can do to improve water features. Okay.
Well, before you jump into that,
yes.
There's the other aspect of it, where another reason to do it, right, would be, when you want to maintain your population on your land or keep them there, right. Especially let's say you're in an area where there's a lot of limited water around. It could be just as beneficial to try to catch water or keep water there as the same as or more maybe even than supplemental feeding. Right?
Oh yeah.
So you can think about it in the same kind of context of the benefits of feeding as well as
that is a very good point.
Watering, I guess.
Oh, for sure. And outside of hoofed animals, like for ducks and for dove. I mean, that's one of the only reasons why at Rancho Bandido we normally have really good dove years, is because we've got some tanks that've got liners in them that hold water year round, and those birds focus in on that, becomes part of their routine. So it's pretty important. But a lot of our listeners have leases, okay, and so they don't actually own the property, So sometimes I think there's a feeling that maybe there's not a lot you can do, Well, there really is a lot you can do, Educating farmers and ranchers, just by with what you hear and what is a benefit to both the stock and to you. For example, everybody's passed. Excuse me, the old windmill stock tank that's completely green and full of moss and all that kind of stuff, and just it don't smell very good. It doesn't look very nice either. Well, one thing you can do is if you really want to and start serving your animals a little bit cleaner water, is volunteer to clean that thing out. God, put your millennial children to work. And the rancher will love you for it, because obviously the cleaner the water, the better. Now, if you don't want to actually stop the flow of water and get in there and let it dry, then scrape it and scrub it and add a little water, scrape it and scrub it, that type of thing. There's a couple of things you can do. You can actually, and of course, you need to talk to your rancher or lease or farmer, whoever it may be, before you do it. But if you've got really nasty water, you can actually put a cap full of bleach in there. And believe it or not, the bleach will obliterate that algae, and it'll actually clear up that water. There's a lot of stuff online about it. It's not I didn't just come up with that. It's what I heard.
Oh, you're not a chemist?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not a chemist. No, never have. Yeah, but another thing you can do is, and this has actually become very popular the past couple of years, is putting goldfish in stock tanks.
Really?
And the goldfish are, not only do they eat larvae and all that kind of stuff, but they'll keep it clean. Now, they'll also get, kind of big, right? But they can last through freezes and everything. So and that's something that I want to do with the kids at Rancho Bandido. I've actually came up with I'm going to go buy a styrofoam cooler. I'm going to buy one of those bubblers, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go buy the things at Petco, then get on the toll road and make my way, and then get really angry because the kids aren't listening, and get them in the vehicles, and eventually try to get the fish in there before they start floating. That's one way of certainly doing it. And again, the ranchers will love it. Livestock watering options are a great option for wildlife. Now, let's take that a step further. Sometimes some of the water features that water livestock are meant for a cow. Okay, they're meant for a calf. All right, so who loses out in that battle? Well, that's going to be the whitetail fawns. or the black buck fawns or the axis fawns, or whatever it may be. So, one thing you can look at doing is again, depending on what the rancher says, but you can look at adding some dirt. Or I've seen guys stack up, which I don't know if I recommend, but stacking up concrete bags and or just sacks of concrete and making a little stair step to the water for them. That's a great way of doing it. And again, is minimally invasive, I think. And something else at the very least that you can do, one of the things that really screws up a good thing of water, and especially with it being so precious, is dead animals. You've got mice or, a stupid squirrel that gets stuck in there and dies and bloats and rots, and that it makes everything nasty, So you'd be surprised, but a lot of folks don't think about it, but put a decent sized stick in there. Listen, the little vermin are going to come for that. They're going to come into that. They're going to come for that water regardless. All right. So you might as well give them a good exit strategy. That's always been my thought.
Yeah, if you put like a ramp or something, or like you said, a stick, something that they can kind of climb out on, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how much it's utilized. And the other thing is, I've seen some guys that'll find like I tell you what, cedars would be perfect for it as long as you cut off all the little twigs and whatnot. Find a cedar branch that kind of bows down, and you can lay that over the tank, and it'll be good for the birds too. So, lots of things that you can do to existing water features to make them better for the wildlife. The other side of things is the scenario where you don't have you don't have free flowing creeks, you don't have stock tanks, the windmills are dried up, and then what do you do? That's where things get a little bit more complicated, a little bit more expensive, but it's
fun.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, are you kidding me? It's a good project, especially for right now, and again, getting the kids involved. Really, there are two. My opinion, there are actually three. There are three solutions to this predicament. Okay, so not having a lot of good water infrastructure. The first and most expensive, but probably the easiest way of doing it, I think, is they actually make some rain catchers that are kind of self-sufficient. And you can put them in the ground, and then they catch water, and it's a little reservoir, a couple 100 gallons, something of that nature, and they work. They use a lot of them in out west, for elk and bighorn sheep, things of that nature. I've seen them used here in Texas. Again, it's going to set you back a couple $1,000, or maybe $1,500, but it's definitely everything you need, to get started.
Hey, hold on one quick moment. Hey folks, have you ever wished that there was an easier way to find the hunting feeds, supplies, and services you need, when and where you need them? If so, check out our hunter search at feedbandit.com, where you can see what hunting suppliers are in your area or are on the way to your land. Don't waste any more precious time searching Google or calling around for feed, blinds, feeders, or even outfitters. Just use our targeted search for hunters, the Feed Bandit Hunter Search, over at feedbandit.com. We'll find your feed.
I think another way of doing it, and Jimmy and I have done this a few times actually, is to make your own rain catcher. And man, oh man, there are all kinds of materials online, people that have built it this way, built it that way, and it's a lot of fun, and it's very effective too. I mean, Jimmy and I made some out of some scrap materials for like $50, and it lasted for like 2 years. So there's a lot of ways of doing it. Now ours, I think both of ours fell victim to pigs, and that's kind of a whole another ball game. I mean, we had everything kind of planned perfectly, everything from the actual structure, the catch the rainfall, from the gutter that took it down to the PVC into the 55-gallon trash barrel with I guess the spigot down, coming out to a float valve, and we were in great shape. But the problem is that the hogs decided to remove all of that, and
we thought
I mean,
Without putting a big rock in the reservoir.
Yes. We put a big rock in there, and after they got over laughing at our foolish attempt, they just knocked it over again. So,
now, to be fair, they were prototypes.
Oh yeah, no, they absolutely were. Yeah. But what is it? Greece wasn't made in a week, or maybe that was Rome. It was one of those South
pizza,
American.
something like that.
I can't remember. Yeah. So, so making your own rain catcher is a hell of a lot of fun, and you'd be surprised just how easily a guy who's got no carpentry skills can actually put something pretty fun together. I would say before you go off and you start this little adventure, I really think you should get a good idea for your property and see what kind of infrastructure you have. There are a lot of farms and hunting leases and ranches out there that have got some existing infrastructure. For example, you may have a place that's got an old an old barn, okay? And I bet you if you talk to the rancher and say, "Hey man, can I put some gutters up there and then put a 400 or 500 gallon tank, to catch water, blah blah blah," I don't think they'd have any problems with it, So, but before you go and reinvent the wheel and actually make a rain catching platform, which again isn't anything more than a couple of 2x4s, treated lumber, and some corrugated steel, then a gutter, effectively, look at your existing infrastructure. I know in Rancho Bandido we've got that's, of course, here I am preaching, and I need to listen to my own medicine, but we've got a lot of old barns and whatnot out there that instead of those damn wells running constantly, especially in the summer, if we had a couple of thousand gallons, we could catch a couple of thousand gallons of water. It's going to save us a couple $100 a summer. Who knows? Now, of course, watering for livestock, especially cattle, is a whole nother ball game.
Well, there's the other thing of we probably need to bring Daniel back on, talk about this a little more. But the whole groundwater issue and the wells pulling. We're pulling so much water out of the ground, this, that, and the other. I mean, if you want to do your own little part to help the situation out. If it's going to fall from the sky, you might as well try to collect it that way as well. Even off the if you have a house there, as well as a barn or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. So that's I'm actually looking. See, collector. I'm actually going to look it up right now. The Texas A&M Ag Extension. They've got. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at a whole bunch of stuff here. Whole bunch, and I'm going to send this to you, Jimmy, so you can put it on the show notes. This is really cool, and this is just an awesome way to get the kiddos involved. Just have a little fun out there and serve, do a good thing. So, but yeah, no, really, all you need to kind of get started is again a structure, if you will, that will capture. It's got to be slanted, okay, and I don't know the degrees or anything like that, but just slanted, all right, so that when the rain hits it, it's going to run off, and then it's going to go down to a gutter, and the gutter is going to lead to some sort of reservoir. The calculations online, but it's like for every square inch of catch, it catches like a quarter inch of rain or something like that. Let me tell you, if you've got the means of going big, do it big, because let me tell you, you get one good rain, you'll fill the darn thing up, and your animals will love you for it. So anyways, check it out. There's a million different ways of doing it, but if you're going to do it, go big. I'd do a couple 100 gallons if you can. And again, your catch doesn't have to be, I think you do kind of want to make them, equal size. Okay. For example, if you've got a 200 gallon cistern, you probably want to have a platform that catches at least, 150 gallons per minute or whatever the formula is, so keep that in mind. Right. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And again, something you can do that will definitely give back to the creatures.
Yeah, and if you're, we talked about having a house feeder. We've mentioned that before, so that you can sit out there and watch. some animals come in or whatnot.
Yes,
but
yes.
Same kind of principle. If you have a house waterer, if you will, you're using the house that you have there. You already have basically a catch, more or less.
That's a very good. That is a very good suggestion. Yeah, I never even really thought about that. Yeah, golly, and then truthfully, here's kind of not to interrupt you, but just I gotta get it out before I forget it. But if you've got like Jimmy said, you got a lease that's got a house on there. Maybe you can talk to the ranch manager. But hey, listen, let's do something here to where we can catch enough water to sustain us and to have a wildlife drinker. There's a lot of setups that that catch water for actually do it for ag. Okay, so for cattle, but they also have a separate fenced off thing for for whitetail, so they can get in there or something of that nature. So no, that's a really good point. When you're out there at your lease, take a look at it. And again, this is the time of year to do it when it's not 8 billion degrees. When you touch the metal, your skin melts off.
Right. So, and there's a lot of people maybe around that haven't really thought about it for a couple of years just because of all the rain we've had. But if now's the time to get it in place, and try to collect what you can, because you never know, what the weather will be like even this summer. I hate to say it, but we will go back.
Oh, we're due. Oh God, devil went down to Texas. He was looking for some rain to steal. Yeah, I know.
And sooner rather than later, we'll be back in that situation. So, it's like they say, it's the time to buy an umbrella is when it's sunny, right? Or more or less what they say.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Yeah, but I think what you hit on, not long ago was really important. I think I wonder how much, and I'd be curious to hear from folks out there. How much do you know right now off the top of your head? How much water is on the land that you hunt? Like, is it something that you actively think of all the time, or do you feel that if you're honest with yourself, are you really more thinking, well, I got to get my my feeders up and this, that, and the other all the time, a lot more so than maybe the water out there.
Right.
I could see where the water aspect can easily be, not saying it is for everyone or a lot of people, but it could easily become a far second thought, behind always wanting to, make sure my feeders are full and that type of thing.
Absolutely.
But again, it's arguably more important, right?
No, I agree.
Interesting.
I agree. Yeah. All right, I finally found this, and I'm about to email it to you, but or text it to you. But I want to say this on the deal here, because the Texas Cooperative Extensions of Texas A&M, so your county extension, go to the website and check it out. They've got a lot of free stuff that you can just download and print. I literally think I printed about everything off they've got. And they got everything from brush control to wildlife management, and it's some pretty good stuff. So I'm actually texting Jimmy the link right now to put in the show notes of a 16-page, 16-page document that will actually show you a bunch of designs and whatnot.
So it's like a good primer on.
It is.
Where to start, I guess, if you have.
It is. It really is, and. A lot of it, it's funny because I was looking at it and I was getting some heartburn because a lot of it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get my ranch hand involved. And I brought it to my father's like, no, we'll just drill a well. I'm like, no, that's not the point. So a lot of these can be very involved, but if you've got a rancher who's, engaged and whatnot, there is no reason why, if you've got a big enough catchment and a big enough cistern to where, or a water tank rather, where you can't catch enough water for livestock, and for wildlife. So, I mean, take this document to them, see what they say. Now, of course, you've got 500 head of cattle, and it's probably not going to work unless you've got Niagara Falls coming from the sky. But
well, hey, that's happened a couple of times this last couple of years.
Boy. So, yeah, what was it? 2011, 50 inches?
That was nuts.
Holy God! I mean, I remember. in August, I'm like, God, we're in Vietnam. I mean, I just expected any minute to be cut down. It was so lush. It was ridiculous. I remember, we at Rancho Bandido, our headquarters property, we typically don't run cows on it just because we've got, unless it gets like Vietnam, and boy, it was, whoo, we brought the cows in there. They're like, oh my God. That was
we're eating, boys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I agree with you. I think that the supplemental water is definitely one of the overlooked things. People are always, talking about, feed and this super protein pellet. Oh my God, you know what we should do? Okay, and folks, listen. When you listen to this, don't steal our idea. Bottled water for deer.
Oh, okay. How would that work?
I don't know. But it's genius. It's the same thing as a protein fix. So they'll just come, they'll put their little hoof.
I see. Have a little nipple hanging down or something.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I'll have to edit that part out of the podcast so no one steals the idea.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be funny? Like,
that would be funny.
Somebody stole our idea.
Well, so we just put it out there, and what we're saying is we've trademarked that idea. So if anyone does it, be sure to send the check. We will just take a 10% royalty.
That's right.
We're not greedy.
Who is our business law teacher?
Schutzberger.
Schutzberger.
Or something like that.
Freddie and Susie Tech have just entered into a verbal contract.
Yeah, so follow anyone out there, follow your ain't right meter, and it's going to click. Yeah. Remember that? It's going to click ain't right if you don't pay us. So.
Oh, my God. All right. So I know all of our buddies will get that. Yeah, if you're attending Texas Tech University, you've probably still got Schutzberger. He's the only professor that ever taught business law at Tech, and even though he's the nicest guy, it's one of the hardest classes I've ever had. Oh, it was awful. But he was fun,
Yeah.
He was a good professor. Anyway.
But no, I think that was a good first, talk about, off-season projects. I think we ought to stop there and make this a little series. And it actually, we didn't really think about making it a series ahead of time here. Right. But I think it's apropos that we started with water.
What is apropos?
I think it's quite appropriate that we started with water, right? Because it's the most important. Now, once you take care of all your water, you feel good about it. You feel come August, there's going to be at least a little something out there for your deer, so they don't say, well, boys, pack up. We got to get off this land, or we're going to die of thirst. Right. So you have that covered. Then I don't know. Stay tuned on the podcast, and we'll have another really fun project for you very soon. Because we gotta kill time between now and turkey season with things to do, right?
That's very true.
So we're making your list for you.
Yeah, no, actually, it's funny. I've got quite a few, and I need to get back busy with my videos too. Because I think, Anyway, we'll leave it at that.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm sure there was something we missed about water. We were kind of just talking off the top of our heads.
Well, actually, there is one thing. I mentioned that there are really three ways of, just totally forgot about this. There are really three ways of kind of doing it yourself. The first one is, like I said, is you're actually buying the device, from a manufacturer, and there are a couple out there. Or you can, second type is actually building your own, so your catchment, so the roof that's slanted into the water tank. But the third way of doing
the venison water nipple?
Yeah, yes, that's okay. So this is the fourth.
Oh, okay.
So outside the venison water nipple, which does sound good, is some people say forget the catchment. Okay, so forget the rain catcher, and what they do is they just get one of those gigantic water totes, and they just they get a little 2-cylinder engine pump type thing, and then they just they bring a similar water tote out there and just fill up their water tote. And there are certainly a lot of people that do that. Now, of course, the problem is that once you're out of water, especially if you don't get down to your release every once, very often, once you're out of water, you're out of water. Whereas with the actual catchment, you can replenish it hopefully.
Recharge.
You can recharge it, but yeah, either way, I think God, if you're just giving them something, I think is good. Another little tip for you is that something that we learned, and we kind of knew this, but is that I think we called it the drinker. Okay, so the actual paste that you drink out of. Originally we started with the pan. Okay, well, obviously even the mouse that gets in there with dirty feet over time will make that thing really muddy. And that's really not that big of a deal if considering the fact most animals drink out of a puddle. But we ended up going with a little bit bigger dish, if you will. And one of the things that we noticed is as the larger the dish we got, the worse the evaporation was. So we really tried to make it to where the actual drinker was almost underneath the rain catchment. Okay, so obviously when it's miserably hot out there, the evaporation's a lot less, and I think it did help, as I recall.
Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah, so just a little hint for you. Try to keep it in the shade. It'll cut down your evaporation, because I really think that's the big. Besides hogs or something dying in there, that's your biggest enemy right there. It's just Mother Nature.
Mm-hmm. Now we have to. We got to put ourselves out there, and I know you sent me a picture of our original water guzzler.
Yes.
When we first built it, but have you found, or do you know if you have any pictures of prototype 1 and version 2 out in the wild by chance somewhere?
I'm sure I do.
Number one, we got to put those on Instagram.
Yes.
Number two. Yes. Number two, they need to at least be in the show notes.
Yeah, I agree. God bless. Let me look. Yes. I did some digging. Went on a trip through history last night and looked at a bunch of fun stuff. So yeah, let me take a look, see what I can find.
Yeah, those pictures were great. I forgot it was that skinny back then. I showed the picture of you and I after duck hunting to Lara. Of course I don't have a beard in that picture. She's like, who's with Richard? That was Richard. I was like, That's
oh God, that's great. I'm glad she didn't say that about me. Like, who's that guy?
She was like, God, y'all are so young.
I know.
Like, oh yeah.
I hate it. Well, here's an email from you on March 15th, 2013, entitled "Guy." So this very well could be a picture. Let's see. And downloading. Okay, no, wow, it was literally the picture of Guy Clark, one of his last concerts. That's awesome.
Oh, at what was that place?
Poor David's.
Yeah. Okay.
God, rest in peace. He was great. Anyway.
Yeah. See, so what do you go through your phone?
Yeah. Well,
on your Yahoo or whatever.
Yeah. And I just found all these, and I almost responded back to our good buddy Mike for an email that he sent us back like in 2016 or no 2004.
Wow.
I was like, ha ha ha, yeah, that's right, or something like that.
Act like you just sent it.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be funny.
Oh, great.
All right. Anything else you want to add to this one?
I think that's it, man. Done.
All right. Well, we'll come back to you guys with your next project very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I also wanted to mention again, since I haven't gotten around to re-recording one of our, announcements or outro, if you will. Anyone listening out there, if you haven't got on our email list, you want to join that thing, ASAP, so you don't miss out. You can do that easily by texting the word "bandit" to 33777, and you can walk through the little prompts there, and it'll get you on our email list. We got a lot of things cooking for you right now that we hope to get out to you, in the near future. So be sure to get on there, and I don't know, maybe the people who are on there right now might get a special little, something for being patient people on our email list and just reading along with us. Anyway,
absolutely.
But other than that, I think that's all we got for this one. I want to thank Oh, excellent. We want to thank everyone out there for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode of the Feed Bandit podcast. Everyone out there, have a good one. Support your local feed store.